Before Tottenham won the Europa League, yep, that really did happen, last Wednesday, you could not give your ticket for the final game of the season away. You couldn't give it away. No one wanted it. No one was travelling. It was a dead duck. The season was done. No one wanted to know. Of course, as soon as we won the trophy, everyone wanted a ticket, and I had people messaging me saying, "Do you know of any spares? Do you know of any spares?" Unfortunately, I couldn't help anybody in the end because everybody wanted to be there. Everybody wanted to be at that final game. Of course, the game ends in another crushing defeat, and I don't really want to talk about the game because that's not the purpose of this video. But yeah, absolutely terrible game in the end, and yeah, it kind of sums up our season, doesn't it? As the song says, 17th, we don't know how we lift the cup in Bilbao. So no one knows how that kind of ended up. It just doesn't make any sense. Can't fathom it out. Anyway, enough of the doom and gloom, because I don't want to be dooming and glooming on this video. What I wanted to talk about was what a fantastic day overall it ended up being. The atmosphere in the stadium, I have to say, the fans were absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Even before the game, going into the Gilpin, random strangers coming up and going, "How you doing?" And everyone's like, "Yeah, we're all buzzing, absolutely loving it." South Dorset Spurs boys, we had a little corner of the beer garden in the Gilpin, and if you don't know where that is, it's up at the top end of Edmonton. We parked there, so it's a massive pub. But we had a bit of the beer garden, met up with loads of friends and so on. Really good atmosphere. The guys were really up for it. Met up with the boys from Essex, the guys I do the podcast with when we were doing the podcast. Yeah, so really, really nice. Walked across the road into LT's, another very, very good Tottenham pub. DJ Dell is in there, putting the sounds on, and the pace was absolutely rammed. The singing all the different songs for all the different players and everything like that. Everyone was just so up for it. Because it was because we arrived fairly early. We arrived around about 11:30 from Dorset, leaving at sort of 8 o'clock in the morning. I got the bus, and everyone had been on the bus probably 45 minutes before that. So long old journey to get up there. We had the obligatory photograph at Fleet Services. This time with our champagne up for the winners of the Europa League, which was great. But anyway, my point is, what a really, really good atmosphere it was. I went down to the stadium fairly early. I was in there probably around 2:30. Don't normally go to the stadium too early, but I wanted to get in there, meet up with a mate and so on. I went to see James Black, the voice of Spurs, and wow, what a performance he put on. I mean, the guy is just, he hasn't stopped singing. He's been performing. But what an entertainer, and what a way to really get the fans pumped up for the game and pumped up for the celebration that we were having. Yeah, I mean, he went through all the songs and everything on. I think probably about an hour set that he does with his mate who does the drums and everything. But the fans were really, really up for it, and fair play to them. It was such a great party atmosphere. Nothing was going to stop, nothing was going to interfere with it. Even losing 4-1 was not going to stop us from having a really good time that day. Obviously, watched the game and all the rest of it. And then we did the parade afterwards, like the lap of appreciation. Really, really good to see. Great to have a season where you have a lap of appreciation that was actually appreciate something important, because obviously it's been far too long since we were able to celebrate anything. And there's been seasons where you just don't even bother. A lot of the time I just, as soon as the game's over, I'll walk out the stadium, off I go. But this time stayed behind. Flags for everybody all around the stadium. And I've got to say, the videos. I took a couple of videos of the people walking around and everything else. But the one right at the beginning of the game, when I got in there, the flags, everybody was waving their flags, and it looked absolutely amazing. I have to say, when you get an atmosphere like that, it really does make you proud to be a Tottenham fan, because the fans really do know how to show their appreciation to this team. Given the shit they put us through year in and year out, and this year has been a terrible one, apart from those 90 minutes, if it hadn't been for that, what a terrible season it would have been. But listen, fantastic to see the flags was going, everyone was singing. When we ended up 4-1 down, the fans actually came alive even more. They actually came alive even more and was really, really going for it, really giving a great atmosphere to the players. And when they all come around, everyone joining the South Stand, I have to say, was jam-packed. It's a bit unfortunate that the players came out, they had a guard of honour from some, top people, your Graham Roberts, your Mickey Hazards, your Ricky Villas, your Martin Chivers, just to name a few off the top of my head. The biggest cheer came for the general when they called out Keith Birkinshaw. Just a shame he didn't get a little bit of an interview from Coity. To be honest with you, Coity, you missed up there. You should have had the general have a few words. But fantastic to see him there. He's one of the reasons why I fell in love with Tottenham. His style of football and the success that he brought to the club, fantastic. Deserves so much respect. Bill Nick gets so much respect, and fair play, and absolutely deserves it. But for me, Keith Birkinshaw, what a man, what a gentleman. I met him once, and it's the only time in my life I've ever been starstruck, if I'm being honest. But I think he must be nearly 90, if he's not 90 already, but looking as fit as a bloody fiddle. But top bloke. Big cheers for him. So the team came out, led through that guard of honour, and they kind of started walk round the stadium. But of course, by the time it gets to the South Stand, all the families had joined. So by the time the families had joined, it kind of ended up just in that corner of the South Stand where they was all taking their selfies and, appreciating their songs, because the DJ was playing their songs and the fans were singing out a brilliant rendition of Can't Smile Without You, Glory. I mean, there were so many. I did take some videos, but I have to say, the sound quality, because it's just on my phone, didn't come out very well. It doesn't sound as great as when you're in the stadium. So a little bit disappointed with how that's come out. But listen, being there, being in amongst it, it was absolutely fantastic, and nothing was going to spoil my day. I really enjoyed it, So big kudos to the club for the flags. I thought it was a really nice touch. Shame it was just the normal Tottenham flags. It would have been nice to have had a winner's flag or something like that to commemorate with. That would have been quite nice. But they gave out a flag, 60,000 flags there, everyone waving them and everything. Everyone got into the spirit of it. And the club decided, the fans decided they wasn't going to let anyone piss on this parade. We were going to enjoy that moment. For those of us that didn't get up to the parade itself on Friday, or wasn't able to get to Bilbao for whatever reason, it was a nice way to be able to celebrate ourselves and see the trophy in real life and everything else. So, yeah, a fantastic day. Absolutely loved it. Just hungry for more of that. It's going to be a difficult one now, isn't it? The season is over, and I guess it's time to really reflect on where we go from here. So there'll be a lot of talk about the future of Ange Postecoglou himself, players within the squad, who stays, who goes, who do we replace, who do we get in. So there's going to be lots going on over the summer, lots of conversations and lots of discussion about it. I'm really struck. I got to be honest with you. The way that Ange Postecoglou has presented himself, the responsibility he's taken, and all the rest of it, it really hits my heartstrings. And I know people will go, "You've got to stop being sentimental," and I absolutely agree with that. And at the same time as feeling sentimental and loving him as a man, and for him giving us this fantastic trophy and the bragging rights and everything that goes with it. Of course, there is still a big question about, are we going to be able to build on that? And that's the big question. And losing 22 games in a season, getting absolutely, rinsed, some of these games is really, really disappointing. I wasn't expecting us to win this game, if I'm being honest with you. The players have been out drinking and partying and all the rest of it. For me personally, I think if he'd have put out the under-21s, I thought that would have been a better option, because Jed Spence, not Jed Spence, Brendan Johnson was dead on his feet. Bissouma still looked like he was half cut. So you kind of look around and you think to yourself, should these players be really putting themselves through it? I don't know. So I wasn't expecting anything other than a loss, but it's disappointing to see that. Of course, you wanted to finish on a high, but listen, nothing was going to spoil that day for me. I've waited 17 years to see a trophy, 41 years to see another major trophy, like a major European trophy like that. I'm absolutely buzzing for it, and of course, now looking forward to the Super Cup and Champions League next season. But that's gonna need some. It's gonna need some real. It's going to need some real thinking about in terms of getting some players in, because we desperately need some real experience in there. We've got lots of new youngsters coming through, and I'm grateful for that. I like the idea of that. Let's get some youngsters in, real emerging talent, and they would have learnt a lot this season. But we cannot just keep chucking them in, week out, and expecting them to put the performances in that you would expect from top class players. So lots of work to do, and I'm sure we could talk about that on different videos over the course of the next couple of months. But I just wanted to say what a fantastic achievement, what a fantastic atmosphere, what a fantastic feeling it was, and fair play to all of the people that have contributed to that for me. The football may have been poor this season, but the Tottenham family have been fantastic. All you people that follow me on YouTube or on any of the other socials that follow any of the stuff that I put out, really appreciate the support that you guys have given me and the encouragement. The wider YouTube family, because there's a lot of YouTube channels out there you can choose from. Lots of them got lots of different views and all the rest of it. Some of us, I know some YouTubers more than others. And I've met some really, really good ones through different channels. Obviously, Chris Cowlin, really friendly with him. I do a review for him, a weekly review for him each Friday. But a great guy, puts out lots of really good content. Kate and Jimbo from The Perfect Match, really good guys, really sensible guys. Apart from Jim's a bit like me, he's a bit of a deluded happy clapper, but great guy. The Irish Hotspur, Dave and Jack, who given me the opportunity to do predictions for them. A big shout out to them. I think they've done really well. Harry Scarf is another youngster, a real young kid coming up, doing his thing on YouTube, and seeing his channel grow is really, really cool. And of course, everybody else that I've kind of interacted with over the course of this season. There are so many channels out there that you can go and get involved in. We are Tottenham TV, of course. I do a little bit on there with Kate and Jimbo. So yeah, I kind of get involved with that one, and of course Melvin from Spurs Kings TV is another one who I've done a few little videos for. So thanks to all those guys who have let me go on your channels and contribute to your content. It's been really, really cool. Of course, South Dorset Spurs, massive shout out to South Dorset Spurs. If you're in Dorset and you support Tottenham and you want to go to games, with like-minded people, check out South Dorset Spurs on their website. Or if you just want to go to the pub and watch it with fellow fans, Weymouth is the Royal Oak, and in Poole, Bournemouth area, we go to the New Town in Poole. You can find details of that on South Dorset Spurs Facebook page. So check that out if you haven't. Tried to put content on there as well to let people know where we're about. It's a growing supporters club. Looking for youngsters to try and take it to keep it going in the longer term, because there's a lot of us old fuckers in there. And of course, the guys in the Gilpin, the guys in LTs, DJ Dell, great guy, keeps the party going. And the other one I wanted to call out was Mario at N17 Club. Got his stall on the high road there. If you know, you know. He's a top guy. Puts out lots and lots of really good t-shirts and all the rest of it. So if you haven't checked that out, check him out. He doesn't just do it on the high street. He's got a website as well. So yeah, check out all those guys. Big thanks to all of those people that have made going to football really bearable over the course of this season. I'll be back with some videos during the close season. Predominantly, I'll do a weekly show for Chris Cowling, so check out that. And then as things come up, I'll put out little videos on my channel. But all that's left to say, I guess, is that's the end of this season. We've ended up with a major trophy, albeit a terrible season, but with a major trophy. So if we can have a better season, can we get another trophy? That'll be the question that's going to be asked going forward. But thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you on the next one. And as ever, up the Spurs.